Jesus was not a black man. I saw this well-known preacher on Easter Sunday was saying he was preaching that Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, the death, burial, and resurrection that they preach about was all about the persecution of a black man, and that how Jesus was a black man. And I was watching as men stood up in the room and they're shedding tears over this nonsense, and my heart is broken because I'm thinking, man, what you're hearing right now in this moment is not even consistent with the Word of God. I know some of you got him hanging on your wall, a black man with locks, but Jesus was not a black man. We know from history and we know from the Word of God that Jesus was an ethnic Jew.
It is written in the Torah that if a man acquires a slave, though in this case not a slave, is a servant in our own case. If he acquires a slave, that slave is going to serve for 6 years, and on the 7th year be free. That's exactly what we do here. And we're studying it today. 6 years service, the 7th year is free.
You know, in a way, you're doing things in the ancient customs of our people.
Because we're Asian people.
Yeah.
We're Asian people.
Yes.
That's a fact to show you that we're more ancient than even the 1948 establishment of the state of Israel.
Yeah, I understand.
I have told you that a Igbo man who hanged himself, who died by hanging, is never buried. Like in my own area where I came from, in Ngwaland, also in Abia State.
Yes.
We don't bury them. We go to invite people from Afo. They go to the bush where he hanged himself, dug a pit under that bush, under that tree, and somebody will climb and cut the rope. He will fall into the pit, and they will close the pit and return back home.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
That's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time, all that he said,
we don't have
so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites? Or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites? Or you want to be Jews? That's a question I have for you.
Thank you. I'll answer that question.
Go ahead, I will help you.
After the demise of Solomon, we now have the northern and southern kingdom of Israel.
Yes.
So when we talk about Jews, Jews are Israelites, but all the Israelites are not Jews. The 10 tribes that got lost are not Jews. They were Israelites.
Well, it's depending.
So minority cannot swallow the majority. We are here. We are the majority down here. So you are minority, and we are older than you.
Another interesting place that you find descendants of the Israelites, but shouldn't be overlooked. It's a very serious scenario. Is in Africa. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel. That when the Romans conquered Judea a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold into slavery. Into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa. If you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. I like to bring up a few specific examples because they're going to be game changers. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them. And he showed not only do they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen, back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. For anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker. Another area in Africa, you have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them. Where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is most likely there is something there. And most likely maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today who are white, Caucasian people came in a little bit later on. We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome. You have a man named Onkelos who wrote a commentary on the Torah, unprecedented, that we still learn today. He was a convert. Some of the largest pillars on the transmission today were Roman converts. So here we are, we're Caucasian Jewish people, and now you have people in Africa saying that they're the real people of Israel. It can't be ruled out at all. We know they were sold into slavery. We know now that they're fulfilling prophecies by saying, we're coming back.
Yeah, while you're grabbing that, I'm just going to insert something interesting.
Go ahead.
But logically, it's more natural to think that they were black Jews than white Jews. Black Jews than white Jews. One, because of the Israelites being a Semitic people, so they were not Caucasian. Because of the Israelites being a Semitic people, so they were not Caucasian. The Israelites being a Semitic people, so they were not Caucasian. They wouldn't be Negroid, but they wouldn't be Caucasian. The other thing is the proximity of Israel to Egypt, which is part of Africa, and Israel spending time in Egypt. So as people are scattered, it's going to make much more sense, right? Just if you're guessing, right, as Jewish people begin to be scattered around the world, what's going to be more likely, that you have dominant black Jews or dominant white Jews? You think more likely to be a lot of black Jews, whereas for many of us growing up, the idea of a black Jew is, well, I guess you converted at a certain point. And then we began to hear about the Ethiopian Jews. Oh, okay. And then like with Jonathan Burness and Jewish Voice and working with the Lemba Jews, and then DNA testing, connecting them with the priestly gene, and then DNA testing, connecting them with the priestly gene, or the Levites, etc.
Decolonization.